pre-sense.
Yeah.
Surely that then means if one dies, nothing changes.
Correct. There's no one there to die. And you're right. Nothing changes.
Because beingness is not any of the senses. So when the senses die, it's the same.
It's life. Yes. Another word for it is life. There is only one life, Shirley. There's one life. One. There's one being. There's only one consciousness. There's one consciousness. One being. One love. One life. There's only one. One without a second.
My mind's going crazy trying to figure that out. But
That's Adrian's fault. Yeah, I know. I'm jesting. You know that and that's you. Look, I don't usually go there. It's because it will. Well, it's the it's the lid's off. I guess the worms. Here come the worms. What? But it's not a whole lot different to what I've been saying all the way through. There is only one. Consciousness is one. There's one electricity, and it animates every electrical gadget on the planet. Now, you look at the gadget and you go, well, that's an individual, interesting, isolated little gadget there. Without the electricity, it's not a gadget anymore, is it? There's no animation to it. Nothing would happen. No animation to the electrical gadget. Without that life force, that life, and it's one electricity, and it's one life force. You remove the life force. Now, can the life force be removed? Only if there's a belief that it's me and my life source. There's no me there owning a life. Never has been. There is just life, animating surely. Is there one life force or many? Many would imply a whole lot of individuals running around, a whole lot of seekers running around that have free will and are in charge, calling the shots. Or is there one life force animating all these seeming human beings? See, Shirley, if it was you animating that body, you would have been responsible for growing a right hand when you were in the womb. You would have been responsible for growing your own heart, both feet, your legs, torso, head. You would have been responsible for all of that if you're the one that's responsible for that life force, and you're the great animator. You had nothing to do with that process. Zero. Zip. Mm-hmm. See the truth of that. Yeah. Yeah. Just a whole lot of little things, little beliefs that we run on that we're not even aware that we're running on them. You come in here and they get pointed out. You go, oh, what did he just say? And then we start to have a look. But we've never looked. And then we start to have a look. Lo and behold, we go, holy shit, that's right. Wow. And the little insights and the little realizations start to happen and start to occur. Little dawnings. They get bigger and less, but bigger, but less. We come in here, maybe like fragmented, a million pieces, so many questions, so many little beliefs. And it's a wonder I can keep up. I do. Fragmented. Becomes less and less and less and less and less and less and less fragmentation. Yeah. But the insights or the realizations become bigger, more profound, much more profound. Holy shit. You'll start to experience that. You just do. If you haven't already, you know you have already. If I'm chatting with you, Shirley, yeah? It just happens. Like falling in love with someone, just happens. My God, the evidence is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. We're blind to it. You know, if you like, this process, if you like, is about becoming more conscious, brighter, more conscious, or in other words, more awake, more present, more conscious, more here, more, more. And that's just happening. That's what I mean by sometimes when I say relax, it's okay, chill, man. Sit back, relax. This gets you. You don't get it. It gets you. This is not your life. The sooner you come to see that, the better. And yet, not. It doesn't matter either. That's the paradox. But here, if you're on this, if you're deeply entrenched in this, the sooner you come to see that, the better. Stop running on a belief. Inquire, investigate. And the little hand might go, but I am inquiring and I have investigated and I've looked and I know there's no me here and I know that. And I'll just go, well, look closer. Look more, because you're still convinced that there's a you there that's had a really good look, but it still feels like me's here. Just means look more. Be more conscious. See if you can find any underlying belief that's still running, that seemingly is taking that's taking responsibility for the animation of this body, for argument's sake, or thoughts. Yeah. You know, if I say to you, Cheryl, are you responsible for that life that's sitting there now? Are you responsible for the life force that's animating that body? Yeah. Or that's there, that, you know, arouses consciousness? wakefulness.
I don't feel like there's a me that has control over anything that's going on here.
Good. So with that in hand, great, okay. Now, with that in hand, tell me what's going on.
It's this.
Yeah, what's that?
Being.
Where are you in that? How do you know that? See anything just here? Anything at all? How do you know that, Shirley? How do you know? You know there's no me here. How do you know that?
Because unless I have a thought, there's just experiencing happening.
Unless who has a thought?
Unless this body mind has a thought.
Yeah, you're right. I'll take the green apple. Teacher. I feel, Shirley, with you, I feel like you're right at the cliff edge, and I'm asking you to jump.
Yeah,
I'm asking you to jump. Right, but it's a 300-meter drop, vertical drop, straight down. I'm right behind you. I'm saying, Shirley, jump, and you go,
push me.
well, what I was alluding to right there is if it was a push where you are, all I'd have to do is walk up behind you, literally, just walk up to the back of your head and go, and off you go. That's how close you are. That's all that is required from where I sit. And yet, but from where you sit, there's a lot of resistance. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? What? What do you mean? It's like it's the last leap. It's like, what's that? Bob tells a beautiful story, and I'll have to take a bit of poetic license, but it's a guy or a person walking along in the bush. It's pitch black, no moon, no torch, nothing. He's walking along, and all of a sudden he feels himself fall. The ground just falls out from underneath him, and somehow he managed to scramble and grabs a hold of this cliff face. It's pitch black. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be quite a while before the sun comes up. And he's not strong enough to lift himself up. He's tried so many times to lift himself, and he just can't lift himself up. In the end, at best, all he's doing is hanging on by his fingertips. He's just hanging on. Yeah. And from the echo and the sounds of everything around him, might have even happened, and there's a beach below. And he's hearing waves, or you're hearing waves crash at the bottom. You go, that's a long way down there. You're hanging on. And the person in the last ditched bit of energy the person has, The only and final and last resort is the person cries out to God. The person cries out, God, God, please help me. Please help me. Remember, there's always an innate love to be. Innate love to be. So you can imagine the plea. Yeah? Please. And the fingers are slipping a little bit more. And like, you know you're seconds away. So it's all about to happen. It's all about to come to a screaming end. Yeah? Please help me, help me. And all of a sudden, this big, deep voice comes back from the heavens. And God says, let go, my son. As it's hanging on. They look up. They go, is there anybody else up there? No, I still don't want to let go. I want to take instructions from someone other than God. I'm still not letting go. Well, the other one is same kind of scenario. Yeah. Cliff face falls, hanging on, hanging there all night. Hanging there all night. Yeah. We might even go through that same process. Yeah. Same process. Let's call it the same process. The same thing happens, yeah. Is there anyone else up there? No response. And God once again says, let go, my son. Let go. The person refuses to let go because they know, yeah, all right, I can hear you, God. But, and maybe there's an afterlife, maybe there's not an afterlife. I don't know, but I've got time to sit here and have a discussion with you about that because it's all about to happen. Yeah. Let go. No. I will not no. I love life too much. Finally, after hanging there for hours and hours and hours, still dark, the person has got zero energy left in them, absolutely zero. They finally succumb. And their fingers finally slip to the point where their fingernails are scraping down the edge of the cliff face. But that process has just started, like half an inch of a split second later, both feet land on the ground. All night, the person had been hanging there, not realising that the ground was only a couple of inches below their feet the whole night. There was a ledge. I don't know what it is about both those stories, but I love them. It's so apt for what's going on. Like you're going, let go, relax, let go. Oh, okay, but it's just part of hanging on. That restricted, constricted feeling. That constricted, that's that. Oh. You sure there's nobody else up there? I think that's hilarious. Finally, like all that fear, the whole night, all of that fear, hanging on, that's life. That's been the life. The analogies, that's the life of the person, hanging on for 2-3 hours to eventually what's going to be impending death. Because we all believe we're born and we're going to die. So it's really condensed into a couple of hours. You finally succumb, and it's not out of choice. You just can't hang on any longer. Finally succumb, and not a micro tenth of a second later, you've been hanging there all night, and your feet land on the ground. You realise you're on a ledge. You've never been in danger. That all imagined, like the snake and the rope. You guys know the snake and the rope, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do I let go?
Well, according to that story, you got to have faith. There's two paths, Shirley. The path of worship, the path of absolute pure, beautiful, pure, non-devotion, absolute devotion to God, or that oneness, or that energy, or to, if you want to give it a really good word, love. You can go that route. Yeah. Which is complete surrender of self, complete abandonment of self altogether. And you live your life out of just a pure love of God, or that beautiful beingness. Yeah. The other route is the route of knowledge. That's this path. Yeah. There are some that are mixed. I like to think that there gets a little bit of both in here, the way it comes through here. It's a bit of both, but far more towards knowledge. You know, far more towards knowledge. So, and the knowledge is the inquiring. Who am I? What am I? What the hell's going on? Self-inquiry. Yeah.